Nelson Mandela. In 1944, Mandela married a nurse named Evelyn. 1 year later, a pretty baby was born. Just because my baby is black, he will also get bullied and hated by the whites. Because of this thought, Mandela felt depressed. He studied law on his own while going to work. At the age of 34, he passed the law exam. Mandela opened a law firm with his fellow lawyer, Oliver Tambo. His law firm was the first law firm operated by blacks. As soon as it was opened, many blacks came to share grievous stories of injustice. Mandela stood up before the court for these people. The white prosecutor often refused to have a trial because Mandela was black. And even the white witnesses gave Mandela trouble by refusing to answer Mandela's questions. Mandela fought to end discrimination against blacks. During 1944, Mandela and Tambo participated in the Afrikaner-dominated National Party. Then, black laborers went on a strike, demanding to be paid the same amount of money as the whites. Even though the blacks did harder work, they were paid less than the whites. Many black people died from this strike. Mandela and Tambo shared one complaint of the party. It was that the party leaders always tried to seek compromise with the whites. They made an alliance with many youths, and Mandela became the leader. The whites passed legislation that were racially discriminatory and deprived blacks of the right to vote. The blacks were also prohibited from marrying whites. In retaliation, Mandela and his people began their movement. During this conflict, 8,500 blacks were arrested and 14 blacks died. Mandela was put on trial, and he eventually divorced his wife. Later, Mandela founded the armed wing Spear of the Nation and trained black young men every night. Then Mandela and his 8 followers were arrested. He was sentenced to life in prison. Eventually, Mandela was locked up on Robben Island.
If you listen to us, we will free you.
However, he refused to compromise with the whites. Mandela secretly explained about the whites to the black young men. For example, Mandela told about their attacks, deprivation, and racially discriminatory legislation. In 1985, Time magazine selected Mandela as Person of the Year. Black people in South Africa demanded freedom for Mandela. Others around the world also asked for his release.
If you promise us you won't struggle against us again, we will release you.
Mandela coldly refused. In the end, the white government gave in. He was freed after spending 27 years in prison. On the day of his release, many people gathered in the streets. "There are still many people who remember me." Mandela was very touched by the sight, and then he shouted, "End discrimination! Stop using weapons! This goes for both the government and the Afrikaner-dominated National Party." The president of South Africa was relieved to hear the news. If Mandela raised another conflict again, he knew the country was going to go through serious turmoil again. The Afrikaner-dominated National Party was composed of 2 opposing sides. Mandela stood in front of the public again. "I don't want society to be ruled by only the whites. or only the blacks. I want a society where all the races come together and respect each other. With this goal in mind, he began negotiating with the President of South Africa. They agreed to allow both the blacks and the whites to freely vote without violence. In 1993, both of them received the Nobel Peace Prize. In April 1994, a historical presidential election was held. Mandela became the first black president of South Africa. There was no more serious conflict for freedom and rights for the blacks. Mandela is still trying to make a free and equal society for both races.